The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a warm, golden hue over the battlefield, as if to soften the harsh reality of the chaos that surrounded it. The distant echoes of gunfire mingled with the cries of the wounded, creating a haunting symphony of despair. In the midst of this turmoil stood a figure, surrounded by dust and smoke, their hands stained with the remnants of life and loss. The medic moved with a sense of purpose, each step a defiance against the encroaching darkness, refusing to let death claim another soul on this unforgiven ground. Eyes narrowed in focus, they sought out the fragile threads of life still flickering in the chaos, determined to weave them back together. With each patient cradled in their arms, a silent promise was forged, a vow to fight against the inevitable, to hold on to hope when the world seemed shrouded in shadows. The medic's heart raced as they knelt beside a fellow soldier, their breath mingling with the dust in the air. Time felt suspended, a fragile moment stretched thin, as they whispered words of comfort, even as the specter of death lingered nearby, waiting for its chance to claim its due. The weight of the world pressed heavily on their shoulders, but within that weight lay a fierce resolve, an unyielding spirit that refused to let despair have the final say. Memories flickered like candle flames in the medic's mind, illuminating the path that had led them here. They remembered the laughter of childhood, the innocent joy of running through sun-drenched fields, a world where pain was a distant whisper. The faces of loved ones surfaced like ghosts, their smiles a balm against the harsh reality of war. Each one a reminder of what was at stake, each one a heartbeat echoing in the chambers of their soul. It was those memories that fueled their fight, that ignited the fire within, driving them to save every life they could. As they pressed on, the medic recalled the first time they held someone's hand in the darkness, the warmth of connection amidst the coldness of fear. They remembered the way a simple touch could convey strength, reassurance, and love, bridging the gap between life and death. The bond forged in that moment had forever altered their perception of healing. It was not merely about mending flesh, but about nurturing the spirit. Each patient was a story waiting to be told, a life that deserved to continue, and the medic was determined to be the author of as many of those stories as possible. The battlefield transformed into a tapestry of lives intertwined, each thread vibrant with hope and resilience. As the medic worked tirelessly, they felt the heartbeat of humanity pulsating through every interaction, every breath they shared. These moments were fleeting, yet they held an eternity of meaning, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light could be found. And with each heartbeat they saved, the medic wove a protective spell against the encroaching shadows, a testament to the beauty of life that could not be extinguished. In that swirling storm of chaos, the medic was not just a witness to suffering, but a beacon of hope, a relentless warrior against the tide of death. They understood that their journey was not just about the battles fought on foreign soil, but also the battles within, the struggle to cling to love, to remember what it meant to be alive. And so, with unwavering determination, they stood ready to face whatever lay ahead, their heart a shield against the darkness, their spirit a flame that would never be snuffed out. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the battlefield, the medic's mind drifted back to the day that changed everything. It was a bright morning, the kind that promised hope, when they received the news of their brother's deployment. Laughter echoed in the air as they shared breakfast, unaware that it would be their last meal together. The warmth of the sun felt endless then, a stark contrast to the cold reality that awaited. The innocent chatter of childhood dreams faded into a haunting silence as the medic stood at the door, watching the brother they idolized march away, courage radiating from every step. Days turned into weeks, and the letters that came from the front lines were filled with tales of bravery and camaraderie. Each word was a lifeline, yet tinged with an underlying fear that gnawed at the medic's heart. Then came the silence. The day the news arrived, it was as if the world had collapsed into itself. The echo of the official's voice, the way their hands shook, it all replayed like a nightmare on a loop. The medic remembers collapsing to the floor, the weight of grief pinning them down, suffocating in its grip. They could still see their brother smile, hear his laughter, a haunting reminder of the lost love amidst the chaos of war. In that moment, a resolve was forged in the crucible of pain. The medic vowed to honor their brother's memory by saving every life possible, to be the guardian of hope for those who still had a chance. The battlefield became a canvas painted with the stories of those they saved. Each patient was a flicker of life, a testament to resilience, a reminder of the brother who could no longer fight. Yet the specter of loss loomed large, whispering doubts in the quiet moments, questioning if they were truly enough, if they could ever erase the scars left behind. Years later, in the chaos of the present, the medic moved through the battlefield with practiced precision, but the emotional scars were still raw. Each time they looked into the eyes of a wounded soldier, they saw reflections of their brother, the same fear, the same desperation. It was a bittersweet reminder of the fragility of life, an unending cycle of grief and hope. The medic's hands, once steady with purpose, now trembled slightly, a physical manifestation of the pain that resided within. They would bandage the wounds, but the deeper scars, the ones that etched themselves into the soul, remained untouched. In the stillness between lives saved, the medic found themselves haunted by memories that were both a blessing and a curse. The faces of those they couldn't save lingered like shadows, whispering tales of sorrow. They often caught their breath, feeling the weight of each life lost pressing down on their chest. It was as if they carried the burdens of 100 souls, striving to find solace in the small victories of survival. The laughter of their brother echoed in their mind, urging them to keep going, yet the silence of absence was a constant companion, a reminder of what was forever lost. The medic stood amidst the chaos, a beacon of hope, yet inside they were a patchwork of unresolved emotions. Each heartbeat became a call to action, but also a reminder of the fragility that life held. They felt the pull of despair, the temptation to falter, but they knew that to do so would be to dishonor the very essence of their brother's spirit. So they pressed on, channeling their grief into a fierce determination, an unyielding quest to bring light to those trapped in darkness. And in that struggle, they found a sliver of peace, a silent promise that no life would be extinguished without a fight.
The combat medic who wouldn't let death win. Amidst the cacophony of gunfire and the anguished cries of the wounded, a solitary figure moved with purpose, weaving through the chaos that enveloped the battlefield. The sun hung low in the sky, casting an orange hue over the debris-laden ground. Each step was a testament to his resolve, each breath a reminder of the lives hanging in the balance. The medic's hands, though trembling with the weight of his duty, were steady as he approached the first soldier, crumpled and gasping for breath, the harshness of war etched into his face. With a deep breath, he knelt beside the man, the acrid smell of smoke and blood swirling around them like a sinister fog. "Stay with me," he urged, his voice a calm anger in the storm. The soldier's eyes flickered with fear, but there was a spark of fight still alive within him, a reminder of the will to survive. As he worked, memories flooded back, uninvited yet potent. The day his brother had received his enlistment letter was a bittersweet milestone, a blend of pride and apprehension. They had laughed together, made plans, and shared dreams of returning home safely. But those dreams shattered like glass when the news of his brother's death arrived, a cruel twist of fate that transformed hope into despair. The medic remembered the haunting silence that followed that fateful knock on the door, the way his heart had felt like it was being ripped from his chest. In his mind, the laughter of his brother became a ghostly echo, urging him to honor his memory in the most profound way possible. Every life he saved became a tribute, a way to keep his brother's spirit alive in a world that felt increasingly dark. The medic's hands moved with practiced precision, tending to wounds and applying pressure to stop the bleeding. Each patient he encountered was a reflection of his own heartache, each one a reminder of those he had lost. He could still see the faces of the young men and women he had been unable to save, their eyes pleading for help that had come too late. The weight of those memories pressed heavily on his shoulders, but he refused to buckle beneath it. "You're going to make it," he whispered to another soldier, wrapping a bandage around a bleeding leg, his own hands shaking, not from fear, but from the sheer intensity of his need to succeed. The soldier nodded, determination etched into his features, mirroring the resolve that burned within the medic's own heart. As the hours stretched on, the landscape transformed into a graveyard of broken dreams and shattered lives. The once vibrant colors of the world dulled under the weight of sorrow, replaced by the stark realities of war. Yet amid the despair, there were glimmers of hope. A soldier, once lifeless, stirred back to consciousness under the medic's care, his eyes wide with the realization of survival. "Thank you," he gasped, and in that moment, the medic felt a surge of purpose. Each life saved was a thread woven into the fabric of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will. He fought not only against the physical manifestations of war, but also against the emotional scars that threatened to consume him. As night fell, the sounds of battle faded into an eerie quiet, broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. The medic sat for a moment, exhaustion washing over him like a tide. He closed his eyes, allowing himself to feel the weight of his grief and the burden of his role. The memories of his brother flooded back, bringing both pain and solace. He could almost hear his brother's laughter, a sound that had once filled his heart with joy. "I'll keep fighting for you," he whispered into the darkness, a promise that resonated deep within his soul. In that moment of vulnerability, he realized that it was not just the lives of others he was saving, he was also reclaiming his own life, one encounter at a time. The dawn broke with a soft glow, illuminating the battlefield and casting long shadows over the remnants of conflict. The medic rose, renewed by the promise of a new day. Each life he had touched was a reminder of the beauty that still existed, even amid suffering. As he braced himself for another day, he felt a deeper connection to those around him. The soldiers he treated were not just patients, they were companions in a shared struggle, each one carrying their own burdens and stories. He knew that as long as he could help them fight their battles, he could also confront his own demons. In the days that followed, the medic became a beacon of hope for the wounded. He found purpose in every moment, whether it was a simple word of encouragement or a life-saving procedure. The battlefield transformed from a place of despair to a canvas where resilience was painted with the strokes of compassion and care. With each soldier he saved, he felt the weight of his brother's memory lift, replaced by a sense of fulfillment. The laughter of his brother became a guiding force, urging him to press on and reminding him that life, even in its fragility, was worth fighting for. As he worked tirelessly, he began to see the faces of the fallen in a different light. Instead of being a source of pain, they became symbols of strength. The medic realized that he was not alone in his grief. Every soldier bore scars of their own, and in sharing their stories, they created a tapestry of resilience that was both beautiful and heartbreaking. He began to understand that healing was not just a physical act, it was an emotional journey shared among those who fought together. In this newfound camaraderie, he found solace, a sense that he was part of something greater, a collective struggle against the inevitability of death. One fateful evening, as he treated yet another wounded soldier, he felt a familiar pang of loss. The soldier's face bore an uncanny resemblance to his brother, and for a fleeting moment, he was transported back to that day of laughter and dreams. But instead of succumbing to sorrow, he took a deep breath and focused on the task at hand. "You're going to be okay," he assured the soldier, his voice steady despite the storm of emotions within. The soldier smiled weakly, and the medic felt a profound sense of connection. In that instant, he understood that while death was an undeniable part of life, so too was the power of hope and healing. As the war raged on, the medic continued to fight, not just for the lives of others, but for his own peace. He discovered that every life he saved was a step toward healing his own heart. The laughter of his brother echoed in his mind, intertwining with the sounds of the battlefield, creating a symphony of purpose. Each day brought new challenges, but with them came the resolve to face the darkness head-on. He became a warrior not only in the physical realm, but also in the emotional landscape of grief, learning to carry his brother's spirit with him as he fought for others. With the final battle fast approaching, the medic stood at the precipice of uncertainty. He felt a mix of fear and determination coursing through him. The night before the confrontation, he sat alone, reflecting on the journey that had brought him to this moment. The faces of those he had saved danced before him, each one a testament to the strength of the human spirit. He whispered a silent prayer for his brother, promising to fight with all he had, to honor the memory of the life that had shaped his own. As dawn broke over the horizon, the medic steeled himself for the fight ahead. The sounds of the battlefield roared to life, and he moved with purpose, ready to confront the chaos. With each life he saved, he felt the weight of death being lifted, replaced by a fierce determination to prevail. In the midst of the battle, he found clarity. He was not merely a medic, he was a testament to resilience, a beacon of hope for those lost in the darkness. Each heartbeat reminded him that life, no matter how fragile, was worth every ounce of effort. In the end, as the dust settled and the echoes of gunfire faded, the medic stood among the survivors, a warrior who had faced the storm and emerged stronger. He had learned that healing was not just about saving lives, it was about finding peace within himself. As he looked out over the battlefield, he felt his brother's presence, a gentle reminder that love transcends even the darkest moments. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit unbroken, the medic vowed to continue his fight for life, ensuring that death would never win as long as he had breath in his lungs.